for it.
Do you know how they cleaned it up?
They were putting booms out, and they were collecting it that way in pads.
And
I know they
skimming
trucked out
it.
soil. Was it like 20 tons or something? It was some ridiculous amount.
I don't know. They scooped a lot out of there. I don't know what they did down there in the wetland area. I think that all just got slipped through the cracks because that should have been treated a whole lot different than anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
That should have been treated something different, but it sounds, from my understanding, they probably just went down there, scooped it all up, and, mopped it up, and then
and not very long ago,
but you can
one
see
of
the
the
cattails
neighbors-
are dead right down in that area.
I'm just gonna say, not very long ago. When I say several months, maybe 3 months ago. No, that's not true. Probably more like 2 months ago. One of the neighbors went down, and he still could see oil, that mucky stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, still.
I wouldn't be surprised because I'm sure it's still washing down the creek and getting down there.
When you drive up there, it smells so
It's going
bad.
somewhere.
It smelled like natural gas this way when I went up there.
Natural gas or oil?
It smelled like
It smells
if
like
I leave the stove on,
Oh.
which I always assumed that was. I was always told
Over by
that
the
they
loading
put a
rack.
scent in there.
yeah.
Right.
Over by the loading rack.
So they're actually putting the scent in here somewhere, right in that
I
process.
don't know.
Because it's supposed to be odorless.
I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
That's right.
I
odorless.
smell it.
That's right.
And that doesn't smell like gasoline
Yeah.
or oil or
No.
it's not that sweet.
How far up did you drive? Did you see the big oil tanks?
Yeah, on my way
Did you
back
smell
by the second
anything up
time.
there? Because
Right
sometimes
by
when
where
I
that guy
drive
was
up there,
burning.
I don't. And other times,
I
oh my
smelled it.
gosh, it just...
Like I stopped. I don't even remember why I stopped. I stopped to look around and I smelled and then I looked over down that way because I didn't see it going this way. I went by it. It was behind the trees. And then coming back, I was like, well, that's what I smell.
Now that I think they do add an odorant to it,
So that you know if
so
it's
you
leaking
know that
out.
it's leaking. But that's processed dry gas.
Yes.
So what you're smelling is the gas that's probably coming out of the wells. A lot of these are vented right now, so all the well, there could be odors coming out of the actual wells out of the ground.
Mhm.
Now that's that wet gas, so you're going to smell the other components in there.
Yeah.
I think. So, but yeah, supposedly the natural gas you don't have an odor, but I think with the wet
not
gas,
just natural gas.
it's more components in there before it gets processed out.
Are you guys sportsmen? I saw the big deer
Yes.
picture. Have you noticed anything in wildlife? I mean, just in your backyard, have you
Yes.
noticed any change?
My husband found frogs up on the hill behind our house
I
that have
read
no
that
back
the other day.
legs.
How big are they? Are they live?
We have pictures. We didn't keep it. It
You
was
did
alive,
pictures?
yeah. We have pictures. But like the one was like this, and he had no back legs.
Like the size of a 50-cent piece?
Mm-hmm.
We had
Other than that, yeah, I mean,
we had a groundhog out in the backyard just
got that.
acting wacky and just not right. And later to find out it had drowned out in there's a little old swimming hole back there.
You found it down there dead?
Yeah, but we saw it in the backyard. Just
Left it alone?
it wasn't acting right. It seemed, I'm not a veterinarian, but physically it looked okay, but it just looked like its thought process and it like a neurological issue. It just couldn't.
It was twitchy.
Yeah, it was just it wasn't right. And then again later on it
Yeah.
couldn't navigate around the pond or whatever. So.
How about, are there any fishable bodies of water, big streams down that way?
Way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have that.
I
Not
wouldn't
sure
know
whether
anything
anybody's
about
having
it.
any issues.
I think it's weird the number of... You weren't the only one to have animals lose their fur.
Yeah.
You weren't the only one to have, and I know that the dog was a little bit older.
Yeah.
But across the street, their dog died.
Yeah. Our
your dog
passed
died.
away within
I
a week of
mean,
that one. Who knows?
Yeah, you can't prove it, but it just seems...
Yeah, I found out later on that another neighbor, their dog started losing all its hair and and having issues and trying to get it checked out. Nobody can explain it.
Mhm.
So it's more widespread. And I think if we actually sat down and talked and had like a sheet of paper saying what are all our health issues, I think we'd be really surprised and shocked to find out we're having a lot of the similar things. A lot of people are really hesitant to talk about personal issues and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But nonetheless, things are happening that were not happening prior.
That's right.
and they're just going unexplained. So you know, I've questioned DEP. I've given them all the information that I have, but you know, bottom line, it's on your shoulders now, and it's your deal. Fight it and figure it out. You know, if you come up with some kind of answer, then maybe somebody will do something. But yeah, the burden placed on the homeowner is just unreal, and it should never be that way. So
No. Well, if there's anything anybody else wants to add, that'd be the time to do it.
actually, I'm going to excuse myself and get back to work. So
Okay. I mean,
See you, Steve.
Yep.
Steve, thank you very
Yep.
much, man.
thank
Good luck with everything.
Yeah, shoot an email to Yvonne or something so I can check your site out.
Sure, man. Yeah. There's a lot of neat stuff on there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Maps and
All right.
stuff like that.
Well, good luck with your quest there.
Thank you.
It's a big one
Yeah, it is. It's
coming your way. See you guys.
Thanks.
See you, Steve. No, I think all of our contamination problems were just right along with Steve there, other than the fact of the free gas that we had in our well, you know, and we actually spent 3 months in a hotel because of it. And of course they paid for it all, but it was still a huge inconvenience.
Huge.
I mean, living in a hotel room for
Did
3
they-
months.
Is that all they offered? Did you ask for, you know,
Oh
can you
no,
find
they
us
paid
apartment
for our
somewhere?
meals. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we said, you know, this doesn't work.
We're not
What
a
can we do? Well, and we got nowhere.
we're not a couple of college kids who can deal with that. Right?
Right.
You have kids, right?
Right? Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
And has anyone else on the street been evacuated, so to speak?
Nah.
No, not
Sorry,
by
no.
someone, but voluntarily, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, we've had the fire department up here how many times?
Oh, several times.
And that
We've
one
had
night it was really bad, and I
'Cause of
know.
the smell?
Yes, just gas everywhere.
gas.
Just smelled like you wouldn't want to light a
Like
cigarette.
your whole, like you walk in your house and it just. I remember that day that I mean, we've had the fire department here many times, but the big one. I remember I walked into the house and it just overcame me, and I was so frustrated and just so sick of it. You're just so sick, and the fear when you're driving, like you don't want to come home from work,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
so sad because
And
you're.
that's part of that.
You know, but
whole
you're coming home
stress
from work
level.
and you're thinking, is it going to be bad? And is my house even going to be there? And
Mhm.
and I know every time I drive up here and I see my house, I'm like, okay, whew,
Yeah.
that's one thing I'm happy about. And then I walk in the house, and if the air's good, it's like, whew. And that day I walked in, it was awful. And I just thought, I don't even want my animals sitting in this. So I couldn't take the cats, but I grabbed the dog and I went out walking. And by the time I got back, there was a fire truck there because
And
one
what
of
do
the other
the
neighbors.
firefighters say when they get here? Are they?
Well, they.
Let me first ask: are they volunteers?
Yes.
Yes.
So they're not, you know, specialists, or, you know, not to downplay the role of volunteer firefighters.
I don't
but
know anything about their training.
I
maybe
don't
when they
either,
come
but
here, they like, why are they clueless? Or
I don't think so.
I don't
no.
think they're clueless.
No.
I mean, they figure, well, it's coming from the people.
And I think
Drilling
they're
for gas out
sympathetic.
there?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they
Yeah.
they smell it,
Yeah.
and I think that they are sympathetic. But what can they do? They have these meters, and you're
They have
standing
a-
outside, so it's not like it's registering the same as in your house.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
and
I've seen studies that, you know, that especially in urban areas, that the inside air is worse than the outside
right.
air.
So I think,
'Cause it
bless their
collects.
hearts, they show up every time, and I think they do the best they can.
Yes, they will, and
But-
they have said that they'll come every time we call.
And what do they do? Like, what
They'll
kind of-
come and assess the situation and take their little meter and go through your home if it's, you know, because of a home, which we've had them twice at our home.
and they come in and say, don't light a match.
Well, the only ones that have told us not to light a match would be the DEP, and they actually told us long ago, back in early '09, they suggested they wouldn't light any candles or smoke in the house, and they wouldn't be outside having a bonfire
I
or
mean, can you
burning
imagine
garbage.
that? You're not allowed to light a
Uh,
candle in your home.
I know, I like to have bonfires
I
in my
mean,
backyard.
yeah, this is what we do on weekends. This is Hedgehog Lane. That's all
This is-
we.
yeah.
I mean,
You
And
enjoy the
and
sounds
that's okay.
and the view. And,
like that doesn't sound ridiculous coming
And
out of your
that's-
mouth. That's
and
acceptable.
like you keep saying, make it right. But I mean, there's,
Right.
when it were to finally come down to it and say, okay, the gas company's like, we were wrong, we're going to make everything right. How do you put dollars on, well, I can't have a bonfire,
Right.
or, you know, light a scented
or
candle.
you never want your family to come over. I never
Right.
ever have my family
yeah.
come over that I don't think to myself, I feel guilty. Like I didn't
Stink.
have a room for them to sleep in because it's so loud at my house. Now this thing is shut down. That's
We
different.
can't
But
have
at
a
the time,
backyard picnic. It's gonna
you know, you
stink.
can't have a picnic. You can't do anything without feeling like like these people don't really want to be there, even though they love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or giving them showers. I remember my nephews came up to visit, and we took them to another person's house to take a bath. and it's just, it's
Yeah.
your